Okay, so guys, I just got back from getting a cut, and I gotta say, this looks so sharp that anybody looking at this might be hearing the sound of Sonic Spin Dash. But I still prefer wearing hats. That's the way to go. Anyway, back on track here. Sonic Prime just got a huge update, and this includes a confirmation of a December 15th release date that was speculated since a few weeks ago, clarification on the voice cast as a whole, and a brand new teaser trailer. Up until recently, we'd only seen 4 of the characters in action: Sonic, Shadow, Big, and Eggman. But then yesterday, IGN made an exclusive reveal by dropping a wave of posters that showed off the complete cast for Sonic Prime. We're likely gonna see other characters, especially because of the existence of the Shadowverse, but these are the stars of the show right here, and you played the game as much as I have, maybe not more, you'll easily recognize these character designs. That said, you'll also realize that one of these characters has been given a change in wardrobe, and that is Rouge the Bat, also known as my favorite female character in the Sonic series, but those of you that might have been curious to know about that little fact. Many fans are debating if this change in Rouge's appearance was necessary to begin with. Personally, I'm not sure if it is, but I've got no complaints, man. Like, come on, you can't look at this poster right here and tell me that this is not a glow-up. Almost like Magenta she typically hunts for. As you can see here, she's now clad in a bodysuit of pink and purple, and though not too much of her personality is shown off in the trailer, from looking at this, I think they've captured the attitude that gives her her charm. I can't wait to see more of her in Sonic Prime. Next up, let's talk about the voice cast. After Sonic Prime was first teased in April, they shared a list of names with us, but only indicated that Devin Mack would be next in line to voice the Blue Blur. Speaking of Devin, he is really killing it as Sonic, man. He already was, but in this latest trailer, he absolutely shines with the character. I'm telling you, man, if you haven't seen that trailer, you need to go and give it a watch. You'll love Devin as Sonic. As for who else will be voicing who, well, we now have a little more information on that. Brian Drummond, who voiced Knuckles in Sonic Underground, will be voicing Dr. Eggman in Sonic Prime. And no, there is no relation between him and Ryan Drummond before anybody thinks about asking. Then we got Ashley Ball as Tails, Shannon Chen Kent as Amy Rose, Adam Narada as Knuckles, and Ian Hanlon will be simultaneously voicing Shadow the Hedgehog and Big the Cat. That's quite a task he's got ahead of him, but clearly he's up to it. And I think these are 2 of the most popular characters in the franchise now. I can totally understand Shadow, but why am I living in a timeline where Big has a huge fan base surrounding him now? What the heck is this? And it's funny I should ask that as someone who can give off a semi-decent impression of Big the Cat. Isn't that right, Froggy? I'm not opposed to the idea of Big becoming a more notable character though. He's probably not going to be a main character in Prime, but at least he'll get to be something more than just a convenient way to fill in a plot hole for the story of Sonic Adventure. I think that was the reason for which he was initially created, to answer the question of how Chaos and Eggman got a hold of one of the Chaos Emeralds. Now, Big is nowhere to be seen in the latest trailer, neither is Shadow, but you do get to see the Queen herself, Rouge the Bat, and I haven't even finished talking about the voice talents yet. Rouge will be voiced by Kazumi Evans, though oddly enough, she wasn't referenced in the IGN article, but I did a quick Twitter search and found that she shared the poster of Rouge, so it was easy to figure out the rest from there. That leaves only Vincent Tong unaccounted for. He was also named along with the rest of voice actors like way back when, but they never clarified on his role, which lead me to believe he might end up voicing a side character later on, or maybe it'll be another main character that has yet to be revealed. I can only guess. As for the trailer itself, you only really hear dialogue from Sonic, Tails, and Eggman. Though Tails doesn't say more than 2 words at best, so there's not much to judge by here, but that's a lot more than I can say for the other characters, as you only hear battle cries from them while they're fighting off badniks. I can't really judge that either, which is a shame because I really wanted an excuse to stand Rouge the Bat. All hail the Bat Queen. I'm not going to repeat my thoughts on Sonic, I've already shared them earlier. As for Tails, like I said, only 2 words, not much to judge here, but from what little I did hear, it sounds like Ashley Ball is on the right track with the character. Although even then, this is being heavily debated, so make of that what you will. And Eggman? Brian Drummond is nailing it as Eggman. I've absolutely got no complaints here. He's got the character down. It's fascinating to see him switch over from Knuckles to Eggman, though both his roles were like decades apart, so obviously he's had more experience as a voice actor since then, and it's part of what's really enabled him to add some shine to Eggman's personality. I'll want to hear out the whole voice cast before giving a complete opinion, but so far they're selling me on it, and that's a good sign. But we're not done talking about the trailer yet, we're just getting to the good stuff. It opens up with Sonic and the rest of his friends coming across a cave in Green Hill Zone where Eggman is hiding. They also discover a crystal called the Paradox Prism, which is what creates the Shadowverse and sets the events of Sonic Prime into motion. When the Paradox Prism breaks apart, everything goes to hell, Sonic CD style. And why all of a sudden am I making a comparison to Sonic CD? Well, remember Eggman Land from the concept art? We always wondered where that was at, and as it turns out, it was at Green Hill Zone itself. The story starts off at Green Hill, and then the Shadowverse happens, it suddenly becomes a dystopian reality created by the Mad Doctor himself. You see it all in the trailer. This is so a bad future for Green Hill. This is totally Sonic CD. And I guess you can call the Paradox Prism the stand-in for the Time Stones. Now we just need Metal Sonic. If y'all thought Jungle Warrior Amy from the concept art was sick, well, this is where things start to become disturbing. Look at this now. We've got Terminator Amy, or Metal Amy if you will. She's actually been roboticized, whether partly or completely. And I'm scared now, man. What did they do to her? I'm convinced at this point that the Sonic Archie comics have definitely had a heavy influence on this show, because this brings to mind another character that suffered a similar fate. I believe her name was Rabbot. She was definitely a Rabbit character who was partly metallicized, and she gained some unique abilities from that. Chances are Amy will have a similar benefit, but nah man, I don't want to exist as a robot. Why would you do that to her? Why? Also, that sick footwear Sonic's got in the concept art is back in this trailer, but it only shows up after the Shadowverse is created. And along with his new kicks, he's got a pair of cybernetic gloves it looks like, and the rest of the cast has gotten a makeover. They look like they're geared up for war, which is appropriate because Eggman refers to them as the Rebels. And it seems like Sonic keeps his usual upbeat attitude after he gets thrown to the Shadowverse, but his friends on the other hand look like they've got an attitude adjustment. Just look at Tails, he looks like he's ready to square up. I'm actually scared of him. And come on, I cannot get over what they did to Amy still. Just why? I'm a little bit curious why out of the whole cast, Sonic is the only one whose personality remains intact after the Shadowverse happens. But then, this is the same guy that escaped cyberspace in Sonic Frontiers. Clearly that takes some special qualities for him to do, and those qualities will be better explained in Sonic Prime. I wonder if you guys still remember Eggman's other selves from the concept art. Whether they're his family or alternate Eggmen from different timelines remains to be seen, but they show up again in the trailer. They're right here, covered in shadow, but that's definitely them. You can identify them just by the goggles alone. You don't see them for more than like a second or two, so their purpose in the story isn't made completely clear. But man, one Eggman was bad enough. Why do we need more of them? I talked about the possible references to Sonic CD and the comics, and I guess Sonic Forces if you want to be technical, because that also features a concept of a resistance army trying to overthrow Eggman, and there just might be another one for Sonic Lost World, where Tails warns Sonic not to attack Eggman while he's got the Paradox Prism. Come on Sonic, you haven't yet learned to listen to Tails? So in summary, we see that one misstep from Sonic has turned Green Hill Zone, and possibly the rest of the world, into an evil Robotropolis ruled by Eggman, and now Sonic has to team up with his friends as alternate selves to set things right. But with these being his friends in their alternate selves rather than the characters that we're used to, this may complicate things for Sonic. I can only hope that one thing that's remained intact is Rouge's penchant for spying. She's obviously no longer working for Gun like in the games, but hopefully she is as stealthy as ever. They've got something absolutely intense going on with Sonic Prime, and I am all on board with it. The only downside is, I think my theory about us being able to see Sonic from other aspects of the franchise, like, you know, movie Sonic and comic Sonic and such, was blown out of the water from seeing how the alternate selves are being handled in the show. I guess it was a little too much to hope for, but hey, it didn't hurt, and what they've come up with anyway is more than enough. So, that's it for this video. Those are my thoughts on the latest surprise for Sonic Prime. The trailer was compelling to watch, I'm deeply excited for the show, and I can't wait to watch the first 8 episodes when they drop in the middle of December, as if I remember correctly, they are releasing them 8 episodes at a time, and there's 24 in total for the first season. The first episode will be 40 minutes long, while the rest are 20 minutes each, as a reminder. So, what do you all think of Sonic Prime? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You know how the song and dance goes. And I'll see y'all next time. Take care and don't forget, Blue Blurs for life. Peace out.